Awesome. Hey, we always try to add value, right? Especially on the production side. And I always tell everybody the CRM that's best is the one that you use every day. I know we have a ton of options for those of you that are with EXP, with Bold Trail and Close.io and Lofty, and those of you that have teams with the Follow Up Boss. So we have a lot of options. And then there's other programs out there that work fantastic. And I always hesitate a bit to bring a paid service on unless I absolutely know it works. And so with that, there is a company out there called Broker and then this amazing younger than me fellow Yugoslavian Luca we brought on. By the way, we were chit-chatting. His family escaped the war from Serbia. My family escaped the war from Croatia, so we might have fought each other if we knew each other a long, long time ago. But fortunately, we were both born here in the U.S., and our great grandparents gave us an amazing gift. We were talking about winning the human lottery, right? Being born in the United States of America. So just be grateful that you're here today. Grateful to God that we're here, and please take advantage of every opportunity. And with that, I'll pass it over to Luca and let him, kind of take on the show. And Luca, do you need to share anything, or are you just going to chat?
Yeah, I do have some slides to share just
Well,
for
Luca,
visual.
share a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
For those that don't know you, share just a little bit about yourself, and then let's go ahead and jump into your content. Thanks for
Yeah,
being here.
absolutely. I actually have that on a slide.
Okay,
If you want
perfect.
me to pull that up, can I just share screen or?
Should be able to.
We'll make that capable
Yeah,
in a second
yeah,
if
you
we
can
haven't
share.
already. There you go.
Cool. All right, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
All right, now let me just get that to expand. There we go. All right. All good? Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Great. What's up, guys? Well, thanks for having me. My name's Luca. I am the co-founder of BrokerBee. I think my other co-founder might be on this call as well, driving. But I'm super excited to be here today. We kind of have a very interesting intersection of the real estate space that we have become very well known with, and the experts of, and what we built our product around, which is the post-closing expert, kind of merged with technology and AI. And AI is kind of this big looming term that I think everyone's either scared of or really excited of, or really wants to start using, but might not really know how. And post closing is kind of the spot in the real estate business where that's kind of like all the exciting stuff happens: get the lead, do the deal, close, and then now the post closing follow up is the next step that keeps growing a business. But that's one of the ones as agents, it's kind of the hardest to remember. So we saw that gap and we created BrokerBee to kind of fill that. And so today I'm going to be going over a couple of things just as far as AI goes and post closing habits and AI agents and totally dynamic. So if there's anything that is redundant or you guys want to skip through, just give me a heads up and I can go on to the next thing. So just let me know where we're going too fast or too slow. A little bit about me. I was a missionary turned realtor, turned founder. So I was a missionary in Costa Rica and Peru for a while. I led a missions team down there. We were just a Christian organization. I loved it. It led me to what we were talking about earlier, how much opportunity we have in the US. I came back and became an entrepreneur. Got me into real estate when I was pretty young and still am young. I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking. I got into real estate and I actually founded a company called Mission Minded Business, which we're a nonprofit. We help business owners do service projects all over the world. So we have bases in 4 countries now. Just last year, we helped over 200 businesses get involved in service projects locally and internationally. You guys can see on the bottom 2 pictures. We rented out Coors Field in December. We're from Denver, so we rented out Coors Field. We had a huge shopping service projects where companies could bring their employees and their clients and have it as a client appreciation event where they were actually serving the community together. And then on the right, you see those are the homes we built. We were actually just building a house 2 weeks ago in Costa Rica with a school, not a business. But yeah, so that's Mission Minded Business. And that's a little bit about me. That's where I spent all my time, is either working on BrokerBee or Mission Minded Business. And BrokerBee is an AI platform that helps real estate agents stay connected after the sale. We call it no tech AI, which I'll explain a little bit more about that. And I was a realtor. I was a top producer on the Zillow Flex team in Denver. I am still licensed. I do deals every once in a while, just for kind of referral clients. I'm not doing a lot of chasing right now. I'm kind of spending all my time on BrokerBee. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and who I am. So to start, one of the biggest problems we've seen in real estate is the lead problem. And that's kind of what it's always labeled as, is that agents have this big lead problem. But I don't actually think that's true. I think it's more of a remembering problem from the leads you already have. An interesting fact I was talking about with my co-founder Steve yesterday, $9 billion is spent out of the $90 billion in commissions from 2025 was spent on chasing new leads. Either whether that's Zillow referrals, Realtor.com, any service or internet leads, and packets of info, anything like that. That's what was spent on that, and only $2 billion was spent on nurturing past clients, client appreciation events, tools to stay in contact with them. And so, as a real estate agent, and also on our real estate team in Denver, we saw this as a really big problem. That there was so much emphasis on the front end of the transaction, but not on the back end. And that's where a lot of the referrals come from. And that's how you actually work with clients that are much better to work with, because they like you, they trust you, they already know you. You don't have to pitch them on your commission or why they should go with you. You usually don't have to interview a bunch of other agents, or they're not interviewing a bunch of other agents. Sometimes they are, but less likely than a lead you first meet. So, and I know that because I was a Zillow agent. And as a Zillow agent, I mean, you're meeting a new cold lead almost every other day. And so I got really good at meeting cold leads, but it becomes exhausting, and it's much easier to work with referrals. So we call this the leverage agent. Russell, I think in your coaching, you have something called the modern agent. Is that right?
That is correct.
Cool. Yeah. So similar idea, but what's changing with an agent today? There's three modes every business runs in. There's pre-transaction, mid-transaction, and post-transaction. Pre-transaction, that's how you get your leads, right? How you attract people. Mid-transaction, how you close and guide those leads to the actual sale, your funnel and process. And then post-transaction, which is how you generate those closings and transactions into more referrals and business for yourself. And so what we're seeing today, and we talk to hundreds of agents across the country and top producers, and we're seeing that the full service agent, they don't leave after closing. They're actually staying and becoming the advisor for their home past just the initial sale. And what you want the goal to be is when they think of agent or something home related, if they think of something home related, they think of you as the agent. That's the goal. This is an Atomic Habits call. I was just texting with Steve a little bit earlier before this, but one of the biggest things that they talk about is how, sorry about that, is every action is kind of a vote for how you want to be remembered. And that's similar to an agent. It's like every value add you give to your clients is a vote for how you want your clients to remember you and how you want them to refer you. And so being that full service agent is so important moving forward, especially in a world today where so many people are trying to replace the agent. Companies coming out. I was just meeting with a couple months ago a company called Ridley, which was their full service AI company that was supposed to replace the agent. Well, shocker, after like 6 or 7 months, they ended up employing agents and becoming a brokerage to use the agents to close the deal. And so I don't think the agent's going anywhere, but I think there's going to be even more attacks now when people just build technology and they see an opportunity, but they don't understand the industry. So there are two things agents should be focused on: content and connections. And how do we become the full service agent, manage that transaction without adding more work to our plate? All that stuff's great, but I know as an agent, once you start getting like 3 to 5 to sometimes 7, 8 under contracts, that workload starts to pile up and it becomes really hard to stay consistent with the follow-up. And Atomic Habits, again, one of their big ideas is like, don't focus on goals, focus on systems. It's all about systems. And so we have this fantastic opportunity with AI coming out on how to leverage this in your business. And so I'm just going to go over how to use AI, in real estate, some basic like fundamentals, what we've seen auditing a bunch of agents in their business, and then how to run AI on their systems and their agents. And again, if I'm going too slow, if you guys have already been through this and you want to go on to the next thing, just let me know, because it's hard to tell where everybody's at sometimes with this stuff. So fundamental LLM versus an agent. How many of you guys are using AI agents right now? I know most people are using LLMs, but how many are using AI agents? Tom, I can't see the other people. Anyone? No one using agents right now? All right. So the difference between the two is an LLM, that's like your ChatGPT, your Claude, your Gemini. You can think of that as the brain. An AI agent, that is actually what works for you. That's like the body. And I'm going to show you some examples today that are incredible. These AI agents are literally becoming workforces. I mean, they are full-scale employees that do everything for you. And it's almost as I've been listening to a lot of tech founder podcasts recently, and they're all saying like this is as revolutionary as when the internet came out. I mean, there is nothing like this before. And so you need both in your business, like without a doubt. It's going to be agents versus agents with AI, and agents with AI are going to win. There's just no the efficiency in the output is too good. And so first thing we're going to talk about is how to get good outputs using AI. And so AI, it's really important to know, is ran off of context. So context means all the information that it has will give you the outputs for what you use. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. The first is going to be a master prompt. You want to create a document that starts with your name, your real estate agent, brokerage, market, and then anything you need to know about your business. This will take you 5 minutes to make. You want to make this and put this in a doc. Every time you use a new AI tool, this is the doc, the first thing you're going to upload. Because an AI can only send data from the data that it's given. And so if it doesn't know anything about you and you're not doing master prompts when you go and use AI for the first time, then you're just going to get that output, and it's not going to customize specifically to you, and it's not going to know you more and more. And so what I do is I literally will just make this. You can copy and paste this prompt, take a picture, whatever. I literally just take this and I will put this into whatever you use, ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, and just fill it out. Get a solid, like 2 paragraphs about you and your business, who you help, how you serve, what your volume was last year, what you want your volume to be this year. And then when you have that, now you have context for your AI. Other things that can count as context. Any social media posts you have, scripting, any call scripts you have with clients to get to know your tone and your voice more. What else? You upload any PDFs or marketing data that you have on yourself, or like any marketing you use. Anything that is about you, you need to be saving in a folder called AI Assets in your Google Drive. This is just a side note. You need to be saving in a folder called AI Assets in your Drive, and everything needs to live there, because when you go use a new tool or you're building a project, whatever it is, you need to put those in there so you get good output. Does that make sense? Is that helpful?
It is.
So once you have a master prompt, you need to understand the difference between push versus pull prompting as well. This is a total game changer when you're using just like a ChatGPT. So push prompting is when you are basically making the AI guess what you want. So you'll push, it's why it's called pushing, because you're pushing the AI forward. So if you go on there and just say, hey, I need you to create a business plan for me, I'm a realtor. Or you just go on and say, hey, I need you to create a listing. I need you to write an email for me, whatever the request is. You're pushing the AI to go and take like liberties on your behalf and fill in those gaps, which is what we don't want to happen. On the opposite side of that is pull prompting. So this is when you want the AI to fill in those gaps and ask those questions from you. So the difference, a good way to think about it is like this. If you guys are familiar with Dan Martell, this is his example. Push prompting is where you ask for directions from your friend and you're like, how do I get to your house? And they're like, well, I'll take a right at the church and go 2 blocks and then turn left and you'll see a cat in the front yard, and that's when you know to go back, right? That's kind of like push prompting. Pull prompting is putting in an address on your maps and getting the exact location and directions to go. Your output from your AI will be significantly better when you start using this. So this is just like classic AI hygiene tips. You want to, there's a couple of elements to this. State your occupation, what the reason is. You want who the AI to be like, top producing real estate coach. You want it to be the tone and the way that it comes out, blunt and honest. I like to say that for business plans because sometimes AI could be like, tell me I'm the greatest person in the world, and it turns out that's just not true, and I believe it. So yeah, I like to tell don't lie to me, be short and to the point. And then I want it, this is the most important part, I want it to ask me the clarifying questions it needs to get me to where I want to go. And then the last part, exactly what I want it to do. Build me a personalized plan. Build me a personalized plan to get to 30 transactions this year. So it's context, role, and then the poll is where I'm saying, ask me the questions that you need to effectively do this. And this is exactly what I want the output to be. And it will change. So if you guys like take a picture of that, try it out. It's like, it's going to change everything. So now that that's kind of like AI hygiene and automation, before we automate anything and implement agents, we have to know what the workflows are. Workflows is a very fancy word, as we all know. Every time there's a new tech revolution, all these nerds come up with super fancy words for everything. And workflows basically just means what you do every day. That's all it means. You can't automate anything unless you know your workflows. This is becoming more and more obvious because you can't actually know what you're supposed to automate. Like I'll show you some examples today on ways you can use AI agents and stuff, but it's your business, it's personal to you, and that's the best part about this new technology is it's 100% customizable. And in order for it to be customizable, you have to know exactly what you're doing every day. And again, you can't automate what you don't know how to automate. And so the 1% principle, right? We don't need to automate our entire business overnight, but if we can do 1% every day, a little bit compounding on itself, one task at a time, now we start to, in 1 year, 2 years, we start to see our business is 100x more leverage than it was before. And a lot of questions is like you stare at this big mountain with AI and you're like, I don't know how to use AI in my business. I want to implement it, but I just don't know where to start. It's like, this is where you start. This is the perfect place to start. And only you're going to know the exact things to automate because it's your business. And that's why we have to track these workflows, which again is a fancy word for just saying the tasks that you do every single day. Is that helpful so far? Am I going too slow, too fast? Cool.
Good.
So I'm going to give you an example. Actually, I'm going to go to, let's see. I'll just give you this. It's fine. I'll just go to an example. So this is an AI agent. If you guys are interested in building agents for your business, I recommend Base 44. I'm not affiliated with them. This is not a sponsor. I just think they're a really solid tool and they're really easy to use. Base 44 is you basically interact with it the same way you would like a ChatGPT or a Gemini or Claude, whatever. You interact with it the same way, but it'll actually go build agents for you. So literally right before this call, like 10 minutes, I was just playing around with it because we on Broker Bee for our we have agents for all different sorts of stuff, but one of the ones we've been working on the most is a sales agent. And you guys feel free to ask me any questions you might have on that. But I try to tailor it towards being an agent. So this is just an example I did. But basically, I went in there and I said, set up an automation in my CRM that follows up with closed clients monthly with value add offers on month 1, 2, 3, 6, and 12. This is what I want you to follow up with. Now, the setup is a little bit more technical, but what I went out and built was I did it with mock contacts and addresses in Denver. It pulled an actual Zestimate for every style for equity report for every address I put in there. It set a calendar to schedule each one of those automations out for my clients. And then it built a tracker to see which ones of those were sent and weren't sent. what the equity report and all that is. And these are just kind of those mock ones I made on the bottom. And that did that in probably 10 minutes, and it works. I didn't have time to like run it to test it, but I do this almost every day with our sales agent. It will literally write custom emails for people and send them on my behalf. It will recognize my tone and style. It'll collect data. I did this I'll show you an example. One I did actually run for this class just to show you guys. So you can see this is the tracker it made. So this is the tracker it made with the home addresses, with the data, the fake buyers, and then the purchase price home, and it pulls all this from Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever it is. And so it has the info to be able to generate those reports. Here's just a screenshot. My agent who runs all the other agents, his name's Mortius. So that's what I call him. But anyways, that's what it built just off that one prompt. And again, remember, agents mean they can work for you. They go and do these things. So I did one just as an example here. I'll show you guys. So this is on my Mortius. I was just playing around with it. And this one actually did send and do everything. So I said, find for sale by owners and currently in the market in Englewood, Colorado. That's my neighborhood. For each property, write a brief description using publicly available data, then draft 5 personalized cold emails to that for sale by owner with the following structure, where there's the tone. With the simple CTA, can I swing by this week and chat about it? And then draft those emails and send it to me to Slack for review. So this is live. It going through. So it created the active FSBOs. You can see each step that it made. Oh, is that not saying? So it made the steps. Then you can see which each one of those, it pulled a specific address. It parsed Zillow, Realtor.com. There we go. Zillow, Realtor.com. Pulled the information, and that's important when you're doing this stuff. You want it to build kind of a bio on whatever you're doing, so it will send out to that bio. Scrape that info from those homes, and then sent that summary for those 5 active for sale by owners in my area with those mock emails that's personalized to each for sale by owner. It sent that to my Slack channel so then I can review them. And then when I respond in Slack to go and send it, it will go from my personal email and send that Slack message, send that email to each one of those people and the address it found. That's pretty incredible, right? I mean, that's like unbelievable. I'll pause here if anybody has any questions they want to ask about this.
So regarding the getting a agent from base 44, what is the investment for that? How does the fee structure work?
Yeah, from what I've seen, again, I'm not an endorser, affiliate, or anything like that. I just really like their tool. From what I've seen, it's a flat fee every month that is charged on like tokens. So it will go higher and higher. I think the one I'm on right now is $50 a month, and it's pretty solid. I haven't ran out of tokens yet. There might be some daily limits, but I haven't really had any restrictions, and we're running it pretty profusely. So $50 a month, and then you can actually go on there for free. I think they give you like 10 free tokens, so you can run a couple of things and try it out and see how it works.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions before I move on?
Hey, are you able, Luca, to get it to integrate with your CRM too?
Yeah, so our CRM is Go High Level, and so it works. I was checking earlier with FUB, since they're open API, you can integrate with that. The other thing you can do as well is if you connect all your Google tools to it, it can send from there. And then worst case scenario, if it doesn't connect to your CRM, what I've seen people do is they'll like export contacts into just like a CSV file. Like I saw an agent in I think she was in Atlanta. She took her CRM, exported her closed clients into a CSV, and then put that CSV to her agents. And part of her post-closing workflow, she would just update that and then update the agent, and then that follow-up cadence would start for her automated outreach. Yeah.
Hey,
Is
Luke,
this interesting? Sorry, I can't tell from it's all quiet and it's just me talking. Is this good? Like, is this helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we need to learn as agents is all the different ways we can use agent AIs in our business. And, that's part of the purpose of us coming together is, when somebody finds a use case, like in this case, you're going after for sale by owners with the agent, that can be valuable. And, the the more that we can apply this to gain leverage in our business, where, there's kind of a ceiling for us in terms of number of transactions individually. If we could raise that ceiling by using agentic AI tools, that'd be amazing.
Totally. Yeah, and I'll show you right after this why that automating those workflows is so important, because then you actually can see where those bottlenecks are and where you can apply that agentic AI in your business. Because some agents only do listings. Their business is 80% listings, and so for them to go out and me to show you how to build, agent who can schedule showings for you and communicate with buyers and listing agents, that wouldn't really do you much good. Which is why I think it's more important to understand the concept and then give you the tools, and then you can go figure out how it will actually integrate and fit best with your business.
Luca, I just wanted to add one. I think this is awesome, and looking forward to meeting you tomorrow. And secondly, it's so much information, right? Like it get broken apart, yet it's a ton of information, and it just creates an incredible platform for you and Steve to follow up with everyone who's on this call, because there's multiple states on this call, which is fantastic. And this is not just one state or location. So
Cool.
just wanted to put that out there that, for those who are interested and want to know more, or maybe, this is a lot of information, please reach out on the chat and take a deeper dive. So just wanted to add that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll put my contact info in there and follow up, and anybody can reach out or we can hop on a call. I'll show you our tool. At the end, I wanted this to be more of a value add for you guys and not just talk about us. And these are the concepts we built our business on. But so I'll talk about that. And so if there is any interest, contact info, we'll get it to you guys. Just reach out, email, and I'll have something at the end. As far as his workflow ideas, again, all this means is just what you're tracking, what you do every day, right? If you're pre-transaction, if you're posting ads, that comes with a stack of actions that you do. If you're doing nurture emails or open house follow-up calls, whatever, you don't just do follow-up calls. That's not really what happens. You sit down, you get your list ready, you pull up your dialer, you get on your CRM, whatever, you plan out what you're going to say, you put them in order, and then you start calling, and then you mark off if somebody calls or not, or your CRM does it, whatever. So each one of those steps, that's like 5 steps just in doing follow-up calls. If you run ads, if you write emails, right? Even if you're using AI to write emails, you still go into ChatGPT, tell it the email you want it to write, upload it into your mailer, CRM, like all these are steps. And that's what I mean by workflow. So instead of just going to AI and saying, hey, I want you to automate my nurture emails. Well, for an AI, that's push prompting. We don't know what that actually means. Pull prompting is, hey, I want you to automate my nurture emails. I want you to be a top sales consultant for email campaigns. These are the 5 steps that I do right now to send out my emails. And which one of these steps can we start to automate? And that gives a much clearer path for you to start building your AI automations in your business, because you're giving it a very specific steps to follow and very specific tasks to fix. Mid-transaction, that can be showing schedules, offer prep, and all this, right, depends on what you use. Not every agent integrates with every tool, so you might have to find some workarounds. And we say this all the time at BrokerB, but this is the worst it's ever going to be. right now. It's only getting better than this. So just to help with the workflow stuff, really important to track those because you just can't build AI agents or automations in your business without knowing exactly what you're actually automating. It's like so important. And I've seen some amazing use cases from other agents, but it's because they're so detailed in exactly what needs to be automated. So Barry, this is our AI. I get to talk about Barry. Barry's like my best friend. He's our AI at BrokerBee. So how our AI runs, we run our AI through post-closing workflows. So one of the main ones that we help agents automate is basically when clients reach out and ask for help after the sale. So our big thing is there's no tech, which is why we call it no tech AI. There's nothing that you have to do as an agent other than just download an app. Our brand doesn't go anywhere and it's quick responses. So just to show you as an example, I won't do a demo call today, but you can see here on the right. So our AI is literally ran on just a phone number. So we train that AI, Barry, on your preferred vendors, which I know you guys work with Pro Insight, and you guys all have preferred vendor lists. We train it on that on your preferred people, the people you want to get recommended, your knowledge, your area, your expertise. And then our AI will actually serve your clients after the sale for anything they need. So like we get a bunch of different use cases. We get people who just text, hey, Barry, I need a handyman, right? And so it'll get the area, what you need done. And then it will actually send the recommended handyman. It will, and by the way, if you're in Denver, this is an actual handyman. This guy's great, Omar. That will send the recommended person and we'll actually book appointments for your clients as well. So we even do dinner reservations. We had someone ask if they can do 2 times, which was pretty funny. But just say that home resource for your clients after the sale, you give them your phone number and you basically say, hey, whatever you guys need for your home, just text my concierge or my concierge will take care of it. We'll get you scheduled with anything you need. Text my number, text my Barry, my team, whatever you want to call it. Everyone calls it something a little bit different. But we will schedule all that stuff. Barry will send the recommended vendors. It'll book appointments and everything. And so this workflow problem that we're solving for the agent is having to sit on the phone, make those connections, schedule with those vendors. People use this during inspection objections and stay top of mind with their clients because now you have a reason to always reach out and always stay in their inbox and for them to use it. And so it's pretty cool. All the use cases that happen. The voice is awesome as well. If you guys are interested in trying it out or learning more or anything, we'll have more stuff. But that's what we have tried to solve this with. Do you guys have any questions on BrokerBee before I move on or how we do it? Cool. Yeah, and then just reiterate, like our thing with AI is like we were just talking about, it's so complicated and it's such a big hill to climb. We tried to make this as simple as possible. How can you literally not know how to use this? All you have to do is know how to text and call. And then all the work on the back end is done. And this is the other beauty of AI. It's complicated in the beginning, but it's getting simpler. And these use cases like we're doing at BrokerBee and like a lot of other companies are doing, it's just getting easier and easier to use and also easier for your clients to use. Like we don't want you to have to give your clients a tool that's a hassle for them. They have to, whatever, save another login and they have to like upload a bunch of info about their home and stuff like that. We try to make it like you just text or call and save that number. So it's AI, but it's no tech AI. So it's so easy to implement. And so that's BrokerBee. And so at the end of the day, no matter what you automate, it has to have value. Like I'll talk real quick about 4 different ways that we have been seeing agents do this, that we did on our team that worked really well for post-closing. But at the end of the day, if you automate it, you use AI, it has to bring value to your clients. And if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. We've all been hit with the AI slop drip campaigns and it's just, brushes off. We don't even look at it twice just because people still want value. They're still looking for help. They're still looking for value. But if they don't get that, then it diminishes your value as the agent. And so when you offer something to the homeowner, it's all about the homeowner. It's all about the client. One thing I did in my business that I can't believe I did for so long is I would like call my clients and I'd be like, hey, do you have a referral for me? Basically, I said a little nicer, but I'm like, do you guys know anyone else who you'll give me business to? And I said it a little harshly, and I know that's how we're trained by like Brian Buffini and a lot of the older models. They train you to like call your agent or call your clients and like ask directly for a referral multiple times, which can work, I guess, but I always felt like it was an awkward conversation for me. And so instead, when I would just stay top of mind with them by providing value every time, those referrals would always come and they would call me for the referral, which was such a better conversation for me than it was as going and calling them and like just staring at the phone for 10 seconds and being like, all right, now I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to call them and ask them. And instead, it was they were excited to send me business because they knew I was good at my job and they knew I'd offer that same value. So a couple of examples of what we do. We'd send a 30-day handyman check-in, and this is separate from BrokerBee. This is just like hopefully some value ideas for you guys on the call. We'd send a 30-day handyman home check-in. So this would actually be our closing gift. We'd pay for a handyman for 2 hours of his time. And then we'd send them at closing to go after 30 days to help them with any repairs if they like damage drywall moving in or need to hang a TV or whatever. We'd pay for that and send them out. And that was a super cool gift. People really loved that. That was awesome. The other thing we do is a housewarming party. That was awesome for referrals because you show up, you are the star because you made it all happen. If you were not the star and it wasn't a good transaction, do not throw a housewarming party. It's not a good idea. But if it was a good transaction, that's awesome because you get to meet all their friends. We do home improvement audits. So that's another awesome touch point to reach out for. Hey, me and my team, and all this you can automate, by the way, with agents, just saying. We do home improvement audits. So like we go to our clients and say, hey, we put together this home improvement report that will go and see anything in your home that you might have updated or done. And we'll actually calculate like what the ROI return is on your house. Or if you're looking to do any repairs down the road, which they made the request through BrokerBee, hopefully, I will help you make the highest ROI decision for when you actually are going to sell again. So you're not like redoing tile flooring when you could have just repainted or redone, something a lot simpler and got a higher return. So our home improvement audit was one of those. Our HUD's investment insight updates, that was super easy. We would literally just create email reminders of neighborhoods through MLS listings and reminders for our homeowners, mark it as hoods whenever we get the notification, and then we get an update on that neighborhood if like something came on the market. We'd screenshot it and just send it to the client and be like, hey, I saw this house came on the market. What do you think? Or hey, did you see this house went under contract for $870? What? You don't actually, you're not really following that, but to them you are, and people like talking about their neighbors' home values. And then the seasonal value touches. This wasn't really my thing. We have agents. One agent lady, she's in Atlanta. She crushes. She did like 50 million last year. She sends recipes every month. That's her whole follow-up game. She just comes up with recipes to send to her clients, and she puts her concierge number on her spoon actually, and or like on the recipe card or whatever, and then sends it to them. And that's just her touch point. She does it once a month and she crushes. She's been an agent for about 10 years and does amazing. So it's all dependent on what your people find value, but even like those recipes, whether it's a handyman, whatever it is, it was for them. It wasn't for the sake of getting referrals, which is what is going to happen in turn, but it was always for the client. So yeah, with all that being said, that's about everything I got. Just track everything. Like that's my biggest advice. If you're scaling this AI mountain and you want to implement it, start tracking. Like start documenting those workflows. It's going to make your life so much easier. Start building those master prompts in that context so you can efficiently use your AI and train it really well. And then if you're using more tools, you can just upload that and get your stuff, the outputs you want, and not get AI slop. But if you track those workflows, it's going to help you so much to start automating a little bit every single week. You'll see what you need to automate, what the bottlenecks in your business are, and all that stuff. And then if you're interested, this is a QR code. We have a post-closing playbook. It's totally free. It has some of the stuff that we just talked about with the handyman check-in and some other ideas. There's also on here, if you get this, you can go and find more info about BrokerBee, or if anybody is interested in BrokerBee or any of the AI stuff I talked about, you can go to brokerbee.com, or I'll put my email below. So thanks, guys. That's all I got. Hopefully that was long enough and helpful, but that's all I had prepared.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Luca, Russell. Thanks y'all for joining us. Well, as I always say, now you got your inspiration, time to put in the perspiration. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. Thanks
Thanks,
again.
Luca.
Thanks, Luca.
Thanks, Luca.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luca. Have a great day.
You as well.